Hello, my name's Chloe Kent, and I'm a senior reporter at Generics Bulletin. Today, I'm joined by Centrient Pharmaceuticals CEO Rex Clements and Chief Scientific Officer Jorge Gil-Martinez as we discuss their goals to deliver innovation and strategic development capabilities in biotechnology. Thank you both so much for being here today. Would you like to start by just quickly introducing yourselves?
Sure, Chloe. Thank you very much for that introduction. And it's really a pleasure to be here today talking to you about innovation in our sector. So I'm Rex Clements. I'm the CEO of Centrient Pharmaceuticals. Centrient Pharmaceuticals is the world's leading B2B manufacturer of enzymatic semi-synthetic produced antibiotics. We also do other products, but our main focus has always been around enzymatic, semi-synthetic, and sustainable production of antibiotics. I've had a long tenure in the pharmaceutical industry. Before joining Centrient, I ran Novartis's antibiotics division. I was with Novartis for 10 years. And my origin is South African, where I was trained as a chemical engineer.
Thank you, Rex. Thank you, Chloe. My name is Jorge Gil. I'm the Chief Scientific Officer, joined almost a year ago. Time goes fast. And I'm leading the innovation journey within Centrient. My experience, 20 years of biotech experience with a big focus on innovation, and also by the use of enzymatic and fermentation technologies. Companies like Anheuser-Busch InBev, the biggest brewing company, PepsiCo, and Corbion, where we were manufacturing lactic acid for bioplastics also by the use of fermentation. And I'm leading an exciting journey here for the innovation together with a brilliant team. So very, very excited to be talking about this today.
So, what are some of the most pressing issues facing critical pharmaceutical products and ingredients?
If you look at today, some of the issues that we face in Centrient, but also in products like antibiotics, which are really the cornerstone of healthcare. I mean, this is the start of any pharmaceutical healthcare intervention. It's a multifold scenario. So on the one hand, of course, we have pricing pressure driven by the fact that in generics, the price curve has moved down and down and down, which results in that the margins on these products are fairly limited. And that over time has then had the impact that it's consolidated the supply chain to only a few providers. And if we step far back enough in the supply chain, we will find that most of the materials to make these key products comes from 2 or 3 manufacturing facilities, usually, not always, but usually located in China. So it's an extreme consolidation of the supply chain in pharmaceuticals. And that in turn then, of course, leads to questions about how stable is the supply chain. And we see that play out often when we see drug shortages in generic spaces happen on the market.
What action has Centrient taken specifically to address some of these challenges?
Chloe, for us, we have a long history in antibiotic manufacturing, going back nearly 100 years already. And in 2000, Centrient's forerunner company developed an enzymatic process by which to produce antibiotics. This is key because it's sustainable, it uses less solvent, effluent from the manufacturing facilities contains no antimicrobial activity, so it doesn't contribute to AMR. And over the years, we've continued to develop this process. We've also continued to invest in intermediate manufacturing facilities. Those are the facilities that have the biosynthetic fermentation steps in the manufacture of drugs, and keeping these in Europe, in the Americas, particularly in Mexico, where we have a large facility to this, to ensure that we have diversified sourcing of our key early stage intermediate materials. And then on the downstream side, we've remained strictly B2B. So that enables us to partner with multiple B2C pharmaceutical companies to help them serve patient needs over time. We continue to innovate in the space. So we continue to invest in our technology, ensuring it's sustainable, ensuring it's clean, and ensuring it's as efficient as can be made in terms of the current available best manufacturing processes.
So it's exciting times for Centrient at the moment with the launch of a new innovation lab in Barcelona. Please, could you tell us a little bit more about how this came into fruition?
Yes, of course, I'll take this one. Actually, the conversations for establishing this lab started even before I joined, and this is really telling us that this is purely linked to our strategy, which is diversifying our portfolio. So we identified a number of competencies and capabilities that we needed to have internally, and that was the main reason why this decision was taken. We're aiming to release our purpose here, which is to develop sustainable processes for our products. This is actually based also linked to the need of collaboration and talent. because the lab is going to be based in the premises of Almiral, which is an innovator in the pharmaceutical space in Spain. And that's essentially linked to the open innovation business model that we have designed for the team, for the innovation journey.
So how will this hub diversify Centrient's innovation capabilities?
Well, actually, it's a need to have the lab to boost innovation. First of all, I have to mention that this is going to be the first site for non-beta-lactam processes, and that means that it's going to be the first site we have where we can run processes that are not linked to our core products. So that is actually a key enabler for innovation. But also, it's important to mention that the strategy that we have defined in the innovation team is based on a model that is called open innovation. That means that by establishing critical partnerships, strategic partnerships with third parties, we can really accelerate the route to market and accelerate the innovation journey. So that's why we decided to build this lab together with the Almiral colleagues, because the intention is to build something similar to an innovation hub, a pharmaceutical innovation hub in that location, with many companies being located there. So can you imagine the beauty and the power of scientists, engineers, project managers having lunch together, talking about the challenges they're facing, etc. That's a real booster for innovation, having those brilliant people sitting together.
What benefits will this provide both your partners and for the pharmaceutical industry as a whole?
Well, actually, as I said, this model of open innovation creates lots of synergies. The model that we're building here is based on, okay, the route to innovation takes very long, research, development, implementation, and we aim to accelerate that by establishing key partnerships with providers of the research. That means that we're accessing technical capabilities in a very accelerated way, in a very efficient way. And what we do is we fill the gap between those guys that have developed and protected key technologies that are important for us, and we make sure that we commercialize those technologies. So we really create the value. That means that we are creating the value by making sure that all that power, all those technologies that we develop there don't stay in a lab, but they are really taken into market. They're really taken into commercialization. That's a relationship of mutual win-win. If our partners win, we win, and vice versa.
I've mentioned a couple of times the importance of enzymatic manufacturing in antibiotics, and we truly believe that biosynthetic production of critical medicines is a key way forward. It enables us to produce more efficiently. It enables us to manufacture more sustainably, and it enables us to work with products that are manufactured in a way that is more in harmony with the environment in which they are produced. When I think about Centrient globally, to me, we have a number of, let's call it nearly commitments or duty of care responsibilities. Firstly, of course, we have a duty of care responsibility to our employees to ensure that they work in a safe environment. But we also have a duty of care to the communities that have allowed us to invest in major manufacturing sites, that we treat those resources with respect. We have a duty of care to our patients to ensure that not only are we manufacturing a drug that works and that meets the highest quality standards, but also that the manufacturing process of that drug is as sustainable as can be. And then, of course, finally, we have a duty of care to regulators and to our investors. So when I take all of that into account, the point of this innovation lab we're constructing is to drive our company further along this journey. Because to me, antibiotics may have been the starting point 20 years ago when Centrient started investing in enzymatic production. But it's certainly not the only point in the pharmaceutical industry where there is a need for a major leap forward to begin to use biosynthetic processes to produce drugs in a sustainable way that is in harmony with both our environment as well as this duty of cares that I've outlined. And so to me, what we're building here is an incredibly important pathway that's going to deliver that. And I think that will really begin to transform the way that many critical medicines are manufactured.
Fantastic. And how will Centrient continue to support the industry moving forward?
By the question, I think in general, as I said, we are a B2B player. So for us, when we think about supporting the industry, we're thinking about how we can be a multi-country, so have a manufacturing base that's multi-country, thereby creating more flexibility and sustainability around that manufacturing base, more reliability of supply, so that when we work with our customers who are from small to very large generics manufacturers, we can guarantee them high reliability of supply, high quality, and we can also talk about the fact that our products are produced in a very sustainable way. We will see in coming years, as we see not just regulatory legislation, but also as we see buying patterns change, where patients are becoming much more conscious about where products come from and how they are manufactured in an authentic way, not just what it says on the package, but really authentically what goes into making a product and how good is it for the environment, for those who manufacture it, to be involved in that process. And because of that, I believe Centrient is really well positioned in the way we're developing our future portfolio to be a leader in this field and to really be a leading partner for B2C generics companies.
Yes, and actually adding to that, as I mentioned, with the open innovation business model, we also aim to connect the dots. So we're going to make sure that those research, technology development efforts, etc., are really taken into the market. A great example is our recently announced partnership with Ginkgo Bioworks in the US. That is allowing us to have access to real state-of-the-art technology, making sure that the processes that we utilize to manufacture our products are really efficient, are really sustainable in terms of resource efficiency, water efficiency, CO2 emissions, etc. So having access to that type of real modern technologies, we make sure that we accelerate innovation in a very efficient way.
Well, thank you, Rex and Jorge, for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. It's been fantastic to get your thoughts on everything. Thank you also to our sponsor, Centrient Pharmaceuticals, for making the discussion possible. To our listeners, we hope you found the conversation insightful, and thank you for tuning in.